All right, guys, we got Bitcoin coming in. 26,376. Not too bad when the stock market's down. And we got that news that, of course, the SEC is trying to delay the Bitcoin ETF, which is no shocker. They're going to delay it as much as they can. We're going to talk about that in a little bit. BNB 213, XRP. I've always said this. I'm shocked XRP is still hanging above 50 cents. I don't know. Maybe I was wrong about XRP. Maybe XRP is going to be a top gainer. Next bull market. Cardano is still at the 24, 25 cent range. Oh my God, it's so boring. And same with Litecoin, between 63 and 65 cents. Not too much to talk about here as far as your Bitcoin and altcoins. Found this article today. Lawmakers urge the SEC to approve a Bitcoin spot ETF immediately. And this is kind of what we've been discussing on this channel for a long time, that for one, Gary Gensler isn't going to be in power forever. If you saw the latest polls, Trump is now beating Biden, thank God, in most polls. I think even most liberals can see that Biden is a snake oil salesman, and he's basically destroyed the country. You know, I was watching Philly riots. I'm from the United States. Philly riots, California riots. I live outside of Baltimore looting and riot. Like, all the cities have completely crumbled. Like, there's nothing left. It's basically America. If you're living in a city in America, you now live in a third world country. New York City, immigrants flowing in, just shit all over the street. The only way you can have a good lifestyle now in America is if you live in the suburbs or you live in the country, like out rural. If you live anywhere near a city, you live in absolute hell. And that's just a fact. I'm a lifelong American. I hate to say it, but America is a third world country now. Unless you're living rural or in the suburbs. So Gary Gensler, for one, if Trump gets elected, he's gone. So Gary Gensler, but even if Trump doesn't get elected, there's a lot of pressure on both sides. This is a bipartisan effort that Democrats and Republicans, they want to see this Bitcoin ETF get approved. So here's the article. It's been a captivating 6 months in the battle between cryptocurrency companies and the U.S. Securities and Exchange Commission. Since the initial coin offering craze in 2017, the SEC has quickly become thought of as a hostile regulator. Yeah, well, they have. The SEC has been criticized for regulating through enforcement action rather than cooperating with the industry to make a clear path forward. Cryptocurrency exchanges and spot ETF applications have been denied or stuck in a pipeline. Cryptocurrency companies like Coinbase have said they've met with the SEC dozens of times with no resolution or clarity. However, more recently, the SEC has faced various defeats in court. So what you're seeing with the SEC right now, and I completely understand it, Gary Gensler is kind of like a big pussy. And he says to himself, look, if I approve anything Bitcoin related, anything cryptocurrency related, when everything crumbles in the next bear market, it's going to be blamed on me. So I'd rather just come out and try to deny everything, say I'm against everything. So that way, when everything goes to shit, I can say, hey, look, I was against it. And to be honest with you guys, that's not a bad mentality. Because if I was a regulator with the SEC or the government, I would be very hesitant to approve anything crypto related. Because yes, we're going to go into a bull market in a year with a halving, but this next bear market, in 2-3 years from now, is going to be pretty bad. You're going to see everything collapse again. You're going to see companies go under. You're going to see exchanges go under. Guys, I've lived through this stuff. So Gary Gensler's in a position where he's like, look, if I approve any of this shit, I'm going to be the guy who approved it. And in 5 years, 10 years, when it all goes to zero, or say Bitcoin goes to zero, I firmly believe that Bitcoin will go to zero. Not in 5 years, not in 10 years. It's going to happen. There's going to be a quantum computer, and people who work for Yahoo and Google and the CIA are going to have access to it before anybody else does, and they're going to hack the fuck out of the Bitcoin blockchain, and it's all going to go to zero. That's my thought. I'm sorry. I know a lot of you guys are big into crypto. You don't believe it. I'm into crypto for a short term. I think eventually it's going to go to zero. So if you're Gary Gensler, do you really want that on your name? Oh, yeah. Oh, we love you, Gary. You approved the Bitcoin ETF. You approved this spot ETF. You approved Cardano and all that. And then 5-10 years down the line, after I've already cashed out and all my followers have already cashed out, because we're going to cash out way before that, then it all goes to shit. And who are they going to blame? They're going to blame Gary Gensler, because that's how the fucking life works. So as much as everybody hates Gary Gensler, and I don't like him either, I totally get what he's doing, just being very strict on everything crypto. Crypto's 90% scams. Just look at your YouTubers. Bitboy, Crypto Banter, George from Crypto's Art. Every single big YouTuber is promoting you scams. Every single one of them is a scammer. In my book, they're a scammer. In my book, you could take each and every one of them to court and win. This is my opinion, because they've all promoted scams. So I get where Gary Gensler's coming from. He wants to protect grandma from getting rug pulled in crypto. And if grandma gets into crypto right now, she will get rug pulled. All right, enough about that. I know that doesn't make a lot of people happy when I say that, but it is true. We're going to talk a little bit about Bitboy today. So we've been talking about Bitboy for the last couple of days. He is now on a 1-week break. He is not doing any videos. He has a buddy of his doing videos. Here's a little bit of a video he made yesterday, and then I have some lawyers, a bunch of lawyers made a video, and they critique a little bit. They're very, very funny. But here's just a snippet of his video from yesterday.
I'm not allowed to talk about him anymore because he's going to try to get my bond revoked. Okay, so we'll not be talking about that situation other than to go over what happened, and I'm not going to be talking about the other side going forward. We've won, guys. We've already won, and so a lot of people feel like last night was like
it really looks like he's won, doesn't he, guys? If this is winning, I don't know if I want to be winning. I think I'd rather be a loser. If Ben Armstrong is the winner and winning, I think I'm going to be a loser. I don't know. What do you guys think?
Some kind of low point for me, guys. I don't give a flip about going to jail. That means nothing to me.
And this is funny. He's trying to pretend he's in jail right now. He's wearing that orange jumpsuit, but he's too cheap to get a green screen where it has bars behind him. So he tells everybody he's in jail. It's a joke, but he's in his multi-million-dollar mansion behind him. It's like he can't even do that right.
It's inconvenient because there was 5.5 hours, let me say this. I don't know what time I was live streaming. Y'all know. I think it was about 8:30. I think I got in the police car about 9-ish. And I got to the jail probably about 9:30. As soon as I got to the jail, it took about 30 minutes to get me into the back. And then there was so that would have put it in about 10. They didn't process a soul in there. Not a soul, at least a male soul.
Anyway, this is him rambling for 40 minutes about how he's not going to do a show anymore. And he's not going to post on social media. I haven't checked his social media. We'll check that in a minute. But this is, I never heard of these guys before. Runkle of the Bailey. I think he's an attorney. I don't think he does a lot of crypto stuff. But he talks a little bit about what Ben Armstrong is, the charges he's accused of. I think it's interesting. I mean, you guys should really watch this. It's a 4-hour live stream, but they're just they go through the arrest, him going up to Carlos's house screaming and yelling. They just pick it all apart, and they're basically just every time Ben opens his mouth, he gives the prosecution more ammo. Is essentially what's happening. So let's listen to a few minutes of this. I thought these guys are pretty funny. I think they're two lawyers. I believe they're lawyers.
Let's pull up his Twitter, I guess. This is gonna make me hurt, isn't it? I already think maybe I don't like this.
No, I'm happy. I want your reaction.
All right. So he's taking a week break from social media. That's a great start.
No. Don't get excited, Ian. Don't get excited.
Well, I mean, it's a good start. Him and Crypto Blood have no issues going forward. Now, I'm wondering, because he was released on bond, did his bond conditions say don't speak to Crypto Blood? Because if they did, then he's already in some serious crap for putting that on Twitter. Still going to do my first interview with Rice, but I have to hold back a while due to my lawyer's request. Has nothing to do with last night, but going forward I can't talk about it until I can. I feel like it may have to do something with last night, or your civil suit, or all the things. I'm sorry to Altcoin Daily and Crypto Wendy for what I said yesterday. I've been upset with things they've chosen to do in this situation. However, it's not worth losing friends over. The fact that I have so much PTSD from TJ that even a slate feels like a gaping wound. Ooh. And by tomorrow, I mean today, because I've been up all night
All right, yeah. Here's a little bit of the charges they go over because he was charged with prowling and loitering. So these guys are two lawyers. We'll listen to a few minutes, see what they have to say.
He is in a place at a time or in a manner not usual for law abiding individuals under circumstances that warrant justifiable and reasonable alarm or immediate concern for the safety of persons or property in the vicinity. Like, say, you're out there screaming like a crazy person, going, I'm not afraid of you, Carlos, and wandering around ranting and raving and whatever else. So, that is, I feel like they've got a pretty good case on that aspect. I suspect they're going to have neighbors who said, you know what, this guy made me concerned for like whether or
Yeah.
not this was, whether or not there was safety here, whether or not there was, concern there. Um, so the next aspect to it, and this is why I said, remember how they had that big lengthy conversation? And I said that it was super significant. Among the
Yeah.
circumstances which may be considered in determining whether alarm is warranted is the fact that the person takes flight upon appearance of a law enforcement officer. To his credit, he didn't do that. Refuses to identify himself, didn't do that. Or manifestly endeavors to conceal himself or any object. Um, I don't know that he did that with the gun. The gun was concealed beforehand. Unless flight by the person,
There's an argument.
there's an argument, but I think that's weak. Um, unless flight by the person or the other circumstance make it impracticable, law enforcement officers shall, prior to any arrest for an offense under this code section, afford the person an opportunity to dispel any alarm or immediate concern which would otherwise be warranted by requesting the person to identify himself and explain his presence and conduct. This actually might be one of the few circumstances where talking to the police might be a good idea, because you can actually use it as a defense here. I've never seen a section like this. This is really interesting to me. No person shall be convicted of an offense under this code section if the law enforcement officer failed to comply with the foregoing procedure, or it appears at trial that the explanation given by the person was true and would have dispelled the alarm or immediate concern. So they had to do that discussion. That discussion that they had was actually super relevant to everything, right? To being able to charge him. Because if they'd skipped that discussion, he would have an absolute defense to this charge. You didn't ask me what I was doing there, so I'm innocent on this one. But they did ask him what he was doing. Now, I'm just going to go ahead and say I suspect that most of what he was saying was true. Or at least he believes it to be true, right? Like, he believes that his Lambo was stolen from him, and he believes all of this stuff. I don't know if it's factually true, and I think it'll be interesting to find out if it's got to be factually true or just honest. Because I'm just trying to see here if there's a difference. There's the judicial decisions here, so I'm trying to see if there's a opportunity to explain. What is it? Lambo, but I'll buy the Lambo, right? Like I'll buy that. They probably would have been like, sure, cool.
Here's how the prelude or the prequel to your movie. Here's how the prequel plays out. The prequel plays out where Ian picked up. Let me give you the prequel. We'll go back and we'll do a Star Wars behind. The prequel that lays out before Ian takes over is Ben Armstrong is realizing that the company is starting to position itself against him. He starts to get these letters and emails that are suggesting that his behavior might be coming subject to controversy. Rather than, tamp down on the behavior or consult a lawyer, what does he do? He does what he has always done, which is firebrand. Phone calls, text messages, emails, etc. He does this, and what does that do except for secure the company in their position? So apparently there's a bunch of behind-the-scenes phone calls where the company directors are going back and forth, arguing over a bunch of this stuff, fighting, like left, right, and center. And the company is just It's positioning itself. It's saying, look, every time you email me, the company, you are giving us more ammunition to say bye-bye.
Anyway, this continues. I could listen to this for hours. In fact, I did listen to this for hours because they go into the legal mumbo jumbo. Essentially, what they're saying is if you're the other side, you're happy that Bitboy is crazy. He's emailing, he's texting, he's doing all this crazy stuff because all that does is give you ammo. What Ben did yesterday, like trying to steal the Lambo from Carlos, going to that neighborhood, all this does is help TJ and the Hit Network. All this does is bolster their case against Ben. Hey, look, we said he was crazy. We said he was harassing people. We couldn't work with him anymore. And here you go, he's getting arrested. For loitering and stalking employees, former employees of the company. So as much as the law is on Ben's side, 65% owner, he created the fucking thing. He's such a mental case, they're probably going to be able, if he continues acting crazy, they're going to be able to have some sort of victory here. So the one thing I haven't checked yet, let's check the Twitter before we get off of Bitboy. Let's see if he posted anything. All right, here's his Twitter. So let's see if I see anything. Blah blah blah. He posted. This is from AJ. So he's got this guy AJ who's taken over the show for the week. I don't know if this guy's Crypto Blood. I don't know who this guy is, but he's hanging out at Ben's house. He probably has him shacking up there, and he's doing the show from Ben's basement. So the last post from Ben was 15 hours ago. As mentioned on my show today, I'm taking a week break from social media. I don't know how he's going to be able to do that. No, not because of the memes, blah, blah, blah. But before I start my break, I would like to say that Crypto Blood and I have spoken. I don't know how he's going to take off for a week. We'll see. We'll monitor this. I just can't see it, but probably for the best, because every time he opens his mouth, he just kind of digs a hole deeper. And like I've been saying, guys, all Ben has to do a live show in your basement with Crypto Blood every day, 5 days a week. You'll put that company out of business. They will be begging you to come back, even though you're a crazy crackhead. They'll be begging you because you are the talent. And we already see this. When you do a live stream, you take 90% of their audience. But that doesn't mean you should go out and, get yourself arrested and cheat on your wife and bring this, hang out with this mistress. No, man. All you got to do is shack up in your house with your wife, do a show every night, and you'll put them out of business in a month. It's very simple, very simple. Okay, one other story I want to cover before we call it quits. Cardano prepares for a big move as whales shift $3 billion. Here's the next Cardano price level. Cardano has witnessed a downtrend trajectory for the past week. Well, not really. Cardano's been at 25 cents for the last year, with buyers unable to turn the trend. As Bitcoin struggles to maintain its momentum above 26,000, leading altcoins, including Cardano, are feeling the pressure, leading to a bearish outlook among traders. Yet hope emerges as there's a surge in large transactions near Cardano's price. Whales are bullish on Cardano's price tip. Whales often see a dip in trending altcoins as a profitable chance to hop in. Consequently, they emit massive quantities of the altcoin, generating buying momentum on the chart, which can lead to price surge. Cardano is certainly in that scenario. Data from the Into the Block indicates a significant increase in large transactions on September 25th. From the figures show that whales shifted close to $3 billion, with the metric rising from 4.7 billion to 7.4 billion. So one thing we know about Cardano, and I think 2 years ago, Cardano was $2, $2.50. And I was on that guy's channel in the comments section, that big Cardano guy, I forget his name, Crypto Capital Venture or whatever, and everybody was so bullish. And I told everybody I was selling. You can find a YouTube video I made. I actually posted the screenshots. And Cardano was at like $2, and I said, everybody, Cardano is approaching its high. It's going to dump. We're going to go back into a bear market, and we'll probably see a 25-cent Cardano in the bear market. Somehow I called it right. I really just pulled it out of my ass, like where Cardano was going to go. But really, Cardano, the bottom for Cardano is 25 cents. Now, that doesn't mean it's not going to go to 20 cents or 18 cents in a flash crash, but it's going to stabilize back at 25. That's where it wants to be. What does that mean? That means when Cardano hits 24, 25 cents, you have a lot of buyers coming in. Who are those buyers? That's not retail money. Retail money is buying at $3 and $2. It's whales. Whales and the smart money are accumulating Cardano at 25 cents. If they weren't, Cardano would be under 20 cents. So every time Cardano drops under 25 or 24 cents, you have inflows of money, people buying. There's people just waiting to buy. I'm one of those people. I have a lot of Cardano, and I plan on buying more Cardano if it goes under 20 cents. So that's why I made a video the other day. I said, look, if you're just getting into crypto right now, you're in a good spot, because if you want to make Cardano the majority of your portfolio, you're literally getting it at the bottom. Doesn't mean it's not going to go to 20 cents or 18 cents, but we're pretty close. We're at the bottom. I mean, I can safely say Cardano's at the bottom. Yeah, it can go lower, but the bottom is where it's going to hang out. So if you're buying Cardano right now and you have no Cardano, you're in a really good spot, But Cardano, I still stick by it, guys. I don't talk about it as much. I think Cardano is going to be one of the top performing altcoins. And I think what's going to happen going into the bull market is those Ethereum fees are going to go up so bad. This is what happened last bull market. The Ethereum fees went up so much, people just stopped using Ethereum. Yeah, the price was going up because people were trading and stuff like that, but people, like every project that was using ERC20 tokens, you couldn't use it. Like if you wanted to buy, like say I wanted to buy $500 of some ERC20 last bull market, it would have cost $1,000 in fees. It was like ridiculous. So I think that people are going to realize this bull market, there's a lot of other coins they can use. I look at Ethereum more like a store of value, kind of like buying Bitcoin. But it's like worthless to have projects on because it's so slow and the fees are so much. So I think Cardano is going to be one of the major projects. Not just Cardano, people go to Polymatic. Hey, as much as I hate Solana, people are going to go to Solana as well. But Cardano will be one of the projects that people dump their Ethereum going into the bull market, and they're like, fuck it, these fees are too much. And you're going to see a lot of dApps and projects and games and all that stuff that are on the Ethereum blockchain. They're going to move over to other blockchains, and Cardano is going to be one of them. That's why I think this bull market for Cardano is going to be one of the biggest we've ever seen. Same with Theta. I realize the prices suck right now, but this is like a gift from God looking to buy cheap prices when we're less than a year away from the happening. Okay. That's it on that. One more look at the market, 26,327. I mean, Bitcoin is really holding out well. Ethereum back over 1,600. You know, remember that article that came out last week and they're like, oh my God, some whale transferred $10 million of Ethereum. It's going to zero. Like, people are so stupid. And I'm just like, would $10 million of Ethereum even like do anything? Like, I mean, would it take it down 5 cents for a second? I don't know. Like, people... The problem is right now, a lot of these writers for these cryptocurrency outlets and YouTubers as well, there's nothing to talk about. That's why this Bitboy story got so big, because there's nothing else to talk about. It's boring, so you have to come up with something. So they're like, what are we going to talk about? Oh, wait, whale. A whale who has $500 million of Ethereum. He transferred $10 million. I mean, that guy could be putting a bathroom in his house. He probably lives in a $1 billion mansion. He's like, fuck it, I'm just going to sell $10 million of Ethereum on the exchange so I can redo my bathroom. I mean, that's how these whales think they're rich. They're billionaires. So don't let the boredom scare you out. I'm bored too, guys. I mean, like, if it wasn't for this Bitboy story, I honestly, like, I was down to making 1 or 2 videos a week. And because there was nothing to talk about, and then the Bitboy shit came out like 3 weeks ago, and now I've been making a video every day. It's like re-energized me. So thank you, Bitboy, for re-energizing me and bringing me back into these boring ass markets. Like and subscribe. Talk to you later.